All right, here we go. So I've got all the beads strung on the string, right? I have my needle here. I've got the ends here where we had the messy knot. So I am going to cut off this needle because I don't want to mess with it while I'm in here doing it. So I cut the needle off, set that aside. Okay, so now I've got all these ends, right? And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this to make sure that it is the size that I want it to be. So I have my Helen jar right here that is exactly 6 1/4. And I'm going to pull this and make sure that it is 6 1/4. Okay, so that's nice. I'm actually pulling it up. We're not going to pull it. I'm going to let it do its thing and make sure that it is tight around that jar. Okay, so we're at 6 1/4. We're good to go. I'm going to pull this. Now this is kind of a tricky thing for me, right? So I'm pulling these. I've already got one knot tied in it to help me out. And I'm kind of pulling, and I want it to expand to where it's going to be comfortable on a wrist, right? Not too tight, not too loose. I want it to flex a little and have some resistance. And then I'm going to tie the second knot. Pay attention to the way you're wrapping the string on this one, because the next knot is going to be in the opposite direction. So now I'm pulling this pretty hard, you know, kind of flexing it, making sure it's getting nice and tight. I want to then pull and make this too tight. So now I've got 2 very tight knots in there. All right, and then the next knot I'm going to do in the opposite direction and pull it tight. Now I do this process over a tray just in case when I'm pulling it, I pull too tight and I break it, right? But I'm also testing it because I want it to make sure it's tight for the customer and it's not going to break on them. So now I've got that. I'm comfortable with it. I like it. It's got good flex and yeah, it's got good flex. And then I'm going to cut this real short up against the bead. And then I'm going to push this over, again, over the tray, because you're really putting a lot of strain on that string, and you want to make sure that if it does break, right, it'll break here and not when it's on someone's wrist. But also, we want to hide the knot in the bead so it doesn't show through. Oh, it's still showing through a little bit. So I'm going to pull, and I'm pushing that bead across very gently. I'm pulling the string and pushing the bead so that it gets completely hidden inside that bead. All right. The little tiny bracelets that I made you with these little rondelles, the hole in these is smaller than these, so it's a lot more difficult to get that string in there. You just keep working at it and you'll be able to get it in there, usually. At least I did with those. So that's it. That's how we string and tie a knot on the stretchy bracelet. So there we go.